Yo! Welcome in, welcome in. Let's go. Yeah, we'll just go soon. Welcome in, everybody. JD, EJ, Casey, Kella, Jeffrey, what's up? Brad, Piddle, first few legends in here. Everyone's legends, but you guys are extra double legends for having the notifications on. I know you're in here so quick. Probably Discord notifications too, right? I know, right? Probably what it is. Welcome in, everybody. Wicked Ball, welcome in there. Ah! I opened it too fast. That was almost like a 49 months. Oh, it's still sprayed everywhere. I barely saved it. Thank you so much, Brad, for the 49 months of Slayership. Ooh, I wonder why it didn't come through. Wait, why is YouTube chat not coming up in the chat at all? Like, YouTube stuff is just completely not connected or something. What's going on here? Strange. Twitch is coming through fine. YouTube is not at all. Well, either way, Brad, thank you so much, you Slayer, for the channel, Slayership. Yeah, Wicked Ball. I'm not sure. I'm probably not going to be able to do the ladder reset this season, like on the day. I might be able to do like the next morning type of situation, but. Six, what's going on there? First time watcher on Twitch, welcome in. Oh, there we go. The one YouTube comment finally came through here. Huh. Yeah, Fly, I see. Mainly I'm just talking about the chat right here, above me. They're starting to come through now, but I don't know why the first like 15 YouTube comments weren't coming in. Hype came through. It looks like only channel members are coming through. Or wait, no, even channel members earlier weren't coming through. I'm not sure what's going on. And Brad's, there should have been a notification thing right here for Brad's membership. Let me make sure I got my YouTube settings right. Maybe I set something weird or not like. Yeah, I mean, should be fine. Public. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, now it works. There must have just been something wrong right at the start there. Brad, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
I'll try again this way. Hype.
Hype. Thank you so much, Brad. You didn't have to, but thank you for the generosity. You legend. What high runes am I specifically looking for? I need Jaws and Chams, but I mean, it's obviously hype. Like, if I actually find a high rune and I see it with my eyes and pick it up, that's always good too. I wouldn't mind a Zod or a Low or a Burr, you know. Really anything hype. I just like hype stuff. Or if I get some crazy unique drop, like I think technically like the elite cows are technically high enough to drop like a Griffin's, but it like never, they're like 1 in like 40 million chance or something because of some ridiculous reason, something crazy like that, or you know, something like that. I don't know, just anything cool. So yeah, it looks like the chat and stuff's working out. There must have just been a little something issue with YouTube right when I fired up the stream, but it's all looking good now. Looking around real quick. All right, when has change happened for D2R? Yeah, so anybody who didn't see my video about it and whatnot, the new season ends on the 11th, so make sure whatever's on your shared stash tabs and make sure your the withdrawal only ones from the even older seasons is like taken care of, so you don't lose any items if there's anything on that leftover stash from the old shared stash tabs. But that's on the 11th, and the new season doesn't start until the 20th. So, and I'm guessing the changes are going to happen. I think they said the changes are going to happen on the 11th as well. Like after that announcement that they're going to do at the, whatever that event is they're doing. I forget what it's called, but you know what I mean. The Diablo Showcase event at the 30th anniversary, whatever. I ain't real good with words, so. Playing Reset, Phil. I don't know, but I don't think so. I planned a family vacation, and I didn't think it was going to be on Ladder Reset, and then Ladder Reset's been pushed back like 3 or 4 weeks after when it was supposed to be now, which I didn't think would happen. And, yeah. So we're going to be leaving, and actually, the day that Reset is the day we're coming back, so. I'm not sure. If I do, it's going to be a super last minute, and I'm probably... Because I'm not an expert speedrunner guy with an expert speedrunner team, I'm probably not going to finish that night. It's not gonna be like a 6-hour stream, even if I miraculously am able to do it, so. Nightbot, what's going on? Love that guy. He never misses a stream. Just kidding, of course, but kind of serious, though. He does never miss a stream. But he is saying hit that like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me. Offline doesn't matter, correct? Doesn't matter. It depends on... You mean doesn't matter for the changes or the shared stash tabs or anything? You don't have to worry about anything? If that's what you're asking, then yeah, you don't really need to worry about too much about the new season and anything changing, really, or stash tabs transferring. If that's what you mean. For the shared stash stuff, yeah. Yeah, I was just talking for... the shared stash tab from ladder getting transferred over to non-ladder, and there's those extra withdraw only stash tabs is what I was referring to. Yeah. Lauren said he found everything but the Cow King set for the Grail, huh? Didn't run a lot of cows, I guess, huh? Best place to find them? Yeah, if I was you, I would probably run Night. I guess if that's specifically the only thing you care about finding, which it sounds like it is, to finish your Holy Grail. Nightmare cows can drop all the pieces. If you find... Ooh, I'd have to Google it. One of the pieces you can only find in Nightmare cows, and then the other 2 you can find in normal cows. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I think the best chance to find those other 2 items is actually normal cows. So you'd have to look it up on the drop highlight thing or something, so... Invincible! Yo! Thank you for the raid! You gave me a raid a week or 2 ago, or whatever it was. My memory's not as good as it used to be in my younger ages. But thank you so much for the raid of 26 Slayers. Appreciate you. How's the grind going? It's going. Never a bad day when you're playing Diablo 2. I'm not a big cows fan, but I decided to do it anyways, because, you know, it's like, quote-unquote, known as a good high rune spot. And I have not been finding any high runes over like hours and hours and hours, so. But that's why I don't run cows, because I never find anything, you know. But yeah, hey, it could turn around any second. Any second now. Today's the day, Jarsky set up a minute ago. Today's the day for the high runes. I hope so. I hope so. You never know, though. I could find 5 today. Could find 10. Or less. Maybe. Any moment. Ooh, yeah. Wicked Ball says, welcome in Twitch Raiders. Yeah. True story there. Welcome in, everybody. Trash, what's up? Yo, fellas, he says. Welcome in, Trash. Good to see you. Is an Ithrune an Istrune with a lisp? No, it is not. Nope. Even if it was. Neither one a high rune. Ist would be more hype than an Ith, though, that's for sure. Oop. Moo. Polly!
How you been, Phil?
Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. You legend. Can't complain. Living the dream. Living the dream, am I right? Thanks for asking. Oh, I forgot to pick this up. That looks like about everything. I don't think I checked this. I probably miss rune word bases and stuff all the time. My eyes over the years are so trained on seeing uniques that I miss stuff like different rune word bases. That's the theory anyways, but yeah. Thanks once again, Ollie Walnut. Highest rune so far that that's dropped or that I've picked up. So like the first day I actually in Ohm fell, but nobody saw it except for one guy in chat. because I like took out a pack of cows and there was like 3 more cows just wandering around. I left them and went over and took out this pack. And then I kind of came back and there were so many items on the ground that I took the cows out and you couldn't see it. But then as I moved, it like flashed over here for like a second. And then I kept running away. And only one dude seen it. I'm like, you're trolling, bro. You're trolling. There's no... And everyone's like, I don't see no Ohm Rune anywhere. And I'm like, yeah, he's trolling. And then he was real insistent and said the exact second. And someone else looked at it. And then it was... There indeed was an Ohm Rune there. So, beyond that, the next highest rune I found, I think, is an Ist. So, I found Ists and Mals. I think I found an Ist, a couple Mals, a Gull maybe. So, yeah. Eldrune, yeah. Superior Bone Weave. Eh. Did I ever try Trav with my Zon? I did not. Viable, yeah. I mean, any character that puts out a butt ton of damage is definitely going to be viable at Trav, I suppose. But I don't know if I can choke down running Trav again right now. I just did it for 7 streams in a row, like, you know, a week ago. I can't bring myself to do that. So we'll do cows here, and then the thing is, I don't know what I'm gonna do after this actually. I want to do like rune finding places, but beyond these are like I've done the 3 like most well-known rune places, I guess. Outside of like places where you can find other stuff, and then they're also kind of good for runes, like Arcane or Chaos Sanctuary. I could do Arcane Sanctuary, I guess. I could do that. Maybe. That's like another one that's specifically used for stuff, so. Invincible's big Arcane fan as well. It's the next TZ, you say? Noise. Let's see some Java gloves. I do actually have a pair nowadays. After 4 years of single player. I actually have a second pair too that's actually better. But just as like a gimmick for the drop highlight video for these streams eventually, I'm doing like 0 Magic Find. And the other ones have like 22 Magic Find on it. So I was like, yeah, we won't use those, even though they're better because they have Magic Find on them. I can use no Magic Find. Because the Grail's over. I don't need none of that stinking stuff. I would like to find a Plague base for the Act 5 Barb Plague Sword or whatever, but somehow I haven't found one of those. I probably dropped like 7 of them, just haven't picked them up for whatever reason, so. Waiting on the Sweetfield Challenge run? Yeah, you're going to be waiting a while. You're going to be waiting a while. Might as well be waiting for the Sweetfield Crocheting channel. Sweetfield Parcheesi Expert Strategy channel. Any Parcheesi fans out there, let me know in the comments. Honey Bun, hardcore. Nope. I hate hardcore. JD says, I don't know why I can't determine unique color and yellow rare color. Oh, you want the colors to be different than what they are right now? I would just leave them the color they are now, personally, but... I haven't used any of the loot filter mods at all recently, so... Not even a little bit recently, so... Magic Arrow playthrough? Maybe. That's supposed to be my ladder character. My next ladder character. Got me good. Wait, Rune Sword. No, that's not one, is it? What are the bases that you want to look for Plague? That don't work anyways, because it would get more sockets. That don't. Either way, but I don't think that's a good one anyways. Galback! Yo! What's going on? Welcome in, Legendary Galback.
It's locked.
Oop. Ooh. DJ, appreciate you. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Phil, appreciate you. Thanks. Wardbow. What is this again? Widowmaker? Man, I'm genius. I know everything. Oops. Magic Arrow, Deadly Strike. Trying to think. Some pally thing with that? I don't know. Divimatavar? Sorry, I don't know on the pronunciation there. Sometimes the words are cut up and I don't see the Divimatavar. Sorry in pronunciation, I'm sure I'm way off on that. Do forgive me. But thank you so much for the Switch Bomb sub. Ooh. Appreciate you. You can finish hell with a Javazon if you have some items of physical damage.
Here, but the game was really good.
Yeah, you can definitely go Javazon on a playthrough for sure. Some of the melee stuff can be a little bit slow, but you know. Like when you get a lightning immune or something, but real slow actually, but thank you so much, Race, for the 100 bits. Commercials were mad this year. I thought the same thing, but also I was not paying attention to the commercials at all. I was doing just S tier levels of chit chat during the commercials. So I didn't see all by any means, but I thought they're all mad too. Thanks for 100 bits once again, by the way. Honeybun said he understands his difficulty of telling the difference between uniques and rares. Okay, yeah. Gotcha, I suppose. I mean, I guess it is possible. I never really have that issue personally, but... Apparently I need high runes to just have when they have the big giant boxes with like rainbow color exclamation points all around it so that you don't miss it. That's what I need. And the big notification thing that pops up in the chat over here when something drops, you know? I used to have a loot filter back in the LOD days, you know, back in regular D2, but that did all that stuff, but nowadays I don't use them. I'm not against them in any way. It's just I get a bunch of crazy, a lot of people probably heard this story, but I get a bunch of like just wacky comments in the comment section of my videos and stuff about, you know, if I ever use a loot filter and they're like, oh, look, he's cheating. You can just see his map hack thing that changes all the colors and it changes the drop rates and stuff. He's lying. He doesn't really find this stuff. And then you got people underneath like, oh, yeah, yeah, he's cheating. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a cheater. And like, am I going to go through the comments and refute everybody that calls me a cheater like every 5 minutes, you know? I get like hundreds of comments on my videos a day. So in D2R, I just told I was like, you know what? I don't need to use loot filter. It is actually Mo Beta, but I just decided not to use it. Other games that interest me, kind of, but not that I can like do full time for YouTube. New game, so. Really, to be honest, if I had to choose activity outside of D2, if it would be like people ask me like what other video games did I play, or if I, you know, had the time, would I play? Honestly, I would probably like not play video games and I'd play basketball and go golfing and stuff. But that's just me. D2R is a goat. Better believe that one invincible. Ooh. Gorilla says those people that call cheats are just brain noobs. Yeah, but if you have enough dummy people posting things on the internet, eventually it just people just start believing it, you know? It doesn't have to be true, and you're like, people just don't believe him, you know, the people who watch me all the time, you know this and that, but then the other people that watch my videos will see all them comments, and if you see like a video and 85% of the comments underneath it are talking about how my video is a lie and I'm cheating, then that's going to cause a lot of people to watch way less videos. So didn't sound like a great idea in my book. Cost-benefit analysis wasn't there for me. Let me scroll back up here. I'm getting a little behind. Getting behind on the comments. Do forgive me. Anyone else fall asleep during the game? It was kind of boring. But not every game can be the most excited ever, right, Jordan? But it wasn't, yeah. I mean, it wasn't, yeah. I don't like that whole Lions comment, though. We're going to have to put you in timeout for that or something. I'm just kidding, but... what should be my next class to clear hell on the new Grail playthrough, says G-Stacks. I hopped in for a little bit. I didn't want to, like, hijack the stream or nothing, but I did see you playing a little bit. And, yeah, you lost your characters or something, and then your backups were, like, messed up or something. That's crazy to hear, G-Stacks. Crazy bad. Sorry to hear about that. But you should probably do, if you didn't do Sorceress yet, you were doing Amazon, I think, when I seen. So, I mean, I would say do Sorceress, G-Stacks, personally, but... Big Brody, yo, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Oh, appreciate you. Give me that Jeff Bezos subscription. D2 only video game I play. It is currently, yes, for a while. I've barely played hardly any other video games since I've started doing Diablo 2 YouTube full time as like the way I support my family. Because it's one of those things like, it's tough. I don't know if anyone's ever had a work from home, set your own schedule type of job. It's really tough to sit down and play a video game when you're like, if I played Diablo 2, I could, what if I dropped a Chamrune and then I could upload a short that would help my channel and make me money? Even if I'm not like recording and streaming like that or anything, but just like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to justify in your brain to do something else for free that you could get paid money to do, kind of, sort of, you know what I mean? Just to be honest, you know. But yeah. Got to get back to that Final Fantasy 9. Well, I was playing that because I was playing it with my daughter. And then she's like, because I was like, well, she reads books and it's like a video game, and she's like, every kid likes video games. So it's like a video game that's like books. Because you have to read everything, because in Final Fantasy, the PS1 version, you have to read everything. So I'm like, it's like a book, but it's like a game, but it's also like a movie. Like, kids love all this stuff, right? And she did at first, but she liked the part, like the movie and the book part, but she didn't want to play the game because she's too afraid of like fighting things. So she hated the game part and only liked the reading and the movie part. Yeah. G-Stacks. So you did the Stork already. Gotcha. I didn't catch that. I must have missed it. Maybe you were doing the Javazon before you had the crash. I forget when exactly I watched and which title of the stream or whatever. Do I get burned out playing D2 over and over again? Not really. Not yet, I guess. There's just too much to do, really. There's sometimes when I'm streaming something, burnt out isn't the word necessarily, but I don't know. It's hard to explain because when you're streaming, it's not always the same as just like if you were just playing something, you know. Because to be honest, that it's one of the reasons why some of you guys have seen that I've missed a few high runes lately and stuff. The reason that I miss stuff sometimes because I'm playing the game and I am thinking about what I'm doing, but I'm only like half thinking about playing the game. I'm really thinking about reading what you're saying and how to respond to it and what the answer is to what I'm responding. You know what I mean? Like, so really the whole time I'm playing here, I'm only really half thinking about the game, you know. So, yeah, and see, it is chat's fault. Honey bun, you know what's up. You know what's up. Blame chat. Who? Let's see. Social. Let's see. Can I double dream or holy shock, holy fire active on the pally? Ooh boy, I'm not sure what you're asking exactly. So if you dual dream, you'd want to go. I'm not really a dual dream like Tesladin, Dragadin player, so I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. But you can do a dual dream pally, or they call it a Dragadin with the dragon root word with the fire aura, but I'm just not sure what you're necessarily asking. Sorry about that. Also, I'm not, like I was saying, I never play them because they're so expensive. for rune words that are only for that one specific build, that, yeah, I'm kind of inexperienced on them too, by the way. VR, maybe I'll just go VR because I don't know how to pronounce any of the rest of that. But deciding between Amazon and Sorknecht's Ladder. Two good options. I don't know if you know, they're really like completely different kind of sort of, so can't go wrong with the sorceress having teleport though if you want to go Andy Mephisto, or if you want to go key farming to the Countess and getting runes that way, or if you want to, you know, there's all kinds of things you can do with a sorceress. Amazon early on, you're kind of stuck doing cows pretty much if your job is on it up. Appreciate you, DJ. Great content lately. The insinuation there, DGen, is that my content before wasn't that great, though. That's the only problem. I'm just kidding. Appreciate you. Just kidding. Oh. Well done. Professor Doggo says he heard Tesladin's barely worth making. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Kinda, sorta, probably. I mean, it depends what you compare it to. I don't... But yeah. Like I said before, I'm definitely less experienced on those ones, so... Tough for me to justify making those rune words on offline single player, and I play mostly offline, to only use on a build that I'm going to play for like a week, you know what I mean? Like, if that, you know, if I'm even going to end up using it. Not that I've never done that before, but usually I don't do it on purpose when I know that's what's going to happen. Like when I made Last Wish, and I'm like, Last Wish is pretty good. Like, I'll use it on some stuff, and then I'm like, wow, this Last Wish is like not even close to as good as Grief. I'll just use dual Griefs, I guess. Boo. Goes? Oh. I seen Charm at the last second. Not large. Grief. Last Wish on Act 5. Yeah, I don't use Act 5 too much. I gotta get around to use it more often. That's what we gotta do. Let's catch up. I'm getting behind in the comments. Man, I'm trying to read real quick, but comments are flying in. I do appreciate the enthusiasm a lot. You. Legend 2. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. Where was I reading here? Oh, Aoi up here a minute ago. Any tips playing Hammerton on console? Oh boy. I don't have any. No. You'll have to ask some other people around. I've never played console before. Anything you can do with an Ethereal Griffin. Use it until it breaks, pretty much, is where is kind of your choice. You can't Zod it. I mean, you could, I wouldn't really socket it or anything, you know, I wouldn't worry about, I just maybe use it till it breaks if you don't have another one. It's unfortunate. Legolas, welcome from Brazil, he says. One of my favorite places to be the place that drops almost all my high runes with new characters. Worldstone Keep. Worldstone Keep's too hard, though. Worldstone Keep. So many tough monsters in there. It's not bad, though. It's not, it is good place with a really good build, yeah, so. Jordan said you were rocking a dual Dream Pally but never got the charms for it. Okay. So I assume dual Dream Pally, it's all skillers, right? If I'm assuming. Offensive, right? Gotta be. What else would it be? What else would it be? Shout out to my Reddit post, just platinumed. Oh, platinum the game and completing the Grail. Thanks for keeping me company while you slay. Okay, I had to decipher what that meant because I don't play on console, so I don't get like platinum rewards. So, how do I select the difficulty so fast? Oh yeah, I have a macro set up. Yep, exactly. It saves and exits, picks the character and the difficulty. It just saves some wear and tear on my fingers from like I edit all day, and then I'm playing the game, you know, and stuff, just to save a little bit there. Cody's looking forward to the major updates. Just trying to catch up on some of these comments. Try to read as many as I can. I'm getting way behind. Way behind. Jeez. How long have I been doing this stuff on YouTube? I've been full-time for about 5 years now. A little bit after Diablo 2 Resurrected came out, I started doing it full-time. So. Only played D3 and D4. Looking at getting D2R. What is players 8? So P8 on single player like this is as you get more people in the game, the monsters get harder and harder and harder. But on single player, you're only in the game by yourself, of course. But you can set the difficulty as if there were 8 players in the game. Like if you were online with 8 players in the game, the monsters get harder and harder and harder, and they give you more and more experience, and they have a higher chance of dropping an item. So yeah.
I shall purge this land of the shadows.
Thomas R. 3 minutes into the game, dropped a Vex. You're stealing on my luck, bro. Now, congrats on that one. Doggo says there's going to be major updates, question mark. You didn't hear about that? I don't know how major updates they're going to be, but they did say there was going to be, I think the words they said was exciting update, which, I mean, that's really an opinion right there, you know. Blizzard's not going to come out and be like, there's going to be some boring, small, disappointing updates coming up. You know, like that's not how they're going to sell it. So, well, even major, like adding 2 new stash tabs is a major update. You know, how major, that's also an opinion, you know. So, we'll see. People are getting their hopium so high. Like, I don't know. I could not imagine them doing a bunch of stuff. Like, what's the motivation to doing any big changes to D2R? They sell the game for $12.77 when it's on sale every other month. Like, I don't understand what people are thinking they're gonna do. D2R mobile incoming with skins, yeah. You ever want to? Yeah, you guys have phones, right? You ever want to play Diablo 2 on the go? And have your characters look like Beavis and Butthead? You can now buy skins on D2R Mobile. No, that's not what it's going to be. This is my guess and my guess only. I have no insider information. I'm just a random dude that they don't tell anything to. I think they're going to do something to Mosaic to make it unbusted. The stash tabs, of course, are getting added. And then I'm going to put on the maybe list, like a 50-50, is adding in that set that they already gave to the Chinese server. And then on a lower percentage, maybe add a couple of new rune words. That's like, so yeah. Just my opinion. Feel free to have yours. Super, super hopeful opinion, whether you think they're going to make an expansion or, you know, Diablo 2 Resurrected, the sequel, you know, comes out or something. I don't think any of that's happening. They add in 2 new characters and a full expansion, and, you know, I don't think any of that's happening. What did I see? I thought I seen a superior armor of some kind that was gray that could get sockets, and I don't see it at all now. Maybe they're gonna add a loot filter, huh? Just kidding. How many hours of D4 did I play? I have no idea. Oh no. I mean, kind of quite a bit, since I completely changed over to only making Diablo 4 content for a while. But couldn't keep doing that. Act 6 incoming, but it's only the Maggot layer. Oh, what am I doing? I need to get my Merc back. You think so, huh? It's all, the entire level is the swampy pit.
It's locked. I need a key.
And Royal Shield, 4 socketed, 45 res, maybe. 1 socket, 45 res. How about that? Ogre! Hope for rune stacking. Yeah, they could always change their mind, but they had said in the past they wouldn't do that. Because then it would make duping even easier. Because then instead of just like duping a rune and then having to dupe another one, you could just dupe a stack of 100 runes. Doesn't really matter that much. I mean, people are gonna unlimitedly dupe anyways, right? So, but that's just what they had said in the past. Okay. Skiller, we know the skillers. We get quite a few skillers out here. Shapeshifting, you know? A lot of times on the melee stuff, you go with max damage anyways, but, you know. Hey, it's got max damage on it too, though. Got max damage on it too. PD2 is real bad in my opinion. And I'm not going to go through every reason why either, because every time I say that, everyone who comes in here to spam about how much they love Project Diablo 2 asks me to tell them all the reasons why, and I'm not going to do that. But yeah, don't like it. Titans over T-stroke? Laziness, really. That way they replenish quantity, and then I can, you know, don't have to go repair as often, and I didn't feel like how much more damage do I really need, right? I just throw a couple of jabs and everything drops, so I figured, do I need the more minus lightning, really? Like, isn't that enough damage for the whole pack already anyways? So I took the quality of life of having to repair less. Interesting. Legolas says more uniques, rune words, new classes, so just double the size of the game. Yeah, I know a lot of people just want like all new changes, all new characters, all new, like, I don't know. I'm not really on board with all that stuff just because I don't know how much faith I have in, like, Diablo 2 is already amazing. Like, I'm a big proponent of don't have perfection be the enemy of great, you know? It's way easier to take something that's absolutely amazing and make it worse by adding in a bunch of mosaics than it is to take something that's great and make it even greater, you know what I mean? It's like those people, like, let's say some Hollywood superstar that's, like, super beautiful, and they're, like, have to keep getting more and more plastic surgery because they gotta be more better looking, and you know, and they just end up making themselves worse, you know, because you already look great and now you're doing all this other stuff to try to look even better, and it makes you look worse, you know. Just a little example, but yeah.
It's locked.
I'm a big guy on analogies to help understand things. Can you steal that saying? I guess so. I mean, I didn't make it up. I don't know where I heard it, but I'm sure if you typed it into Google, it'd probably come up with somebody who said it before. Don't let perfection be the enemy of great. And that's kind of almost the same saying as, like, I guess that's a little different than I was gonna say it was almost like the same saying of if you can get 90% of the output for like 20% of the effort, then don't do the 100% of the effort to get that extra 10%, you know, however that saying goes. Why did I think I saw something over here? I don't. Oh well. Hi from the Czech Republic. Welcome in, L Tom. Yo. DK, not a bad example right there. DK. Honey Bun said Joan Rivers. Is that who originally said that? That's kind of funny if it was. Lydon X says tourists want big changes, old timers want stash tabs. Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, if they added the stash tabs are coming, like, I would be more shocked if we didn't get stash tabs than the amount of shock I'd have if they made an expansion or added in a new character or something. I would be more shocked if we did not get the stash tabs. But stash tabs, if they added more online character slots, why is it limited at all? I don't understand. It takes like 5 bytes of memory for a character. I'm just making up a number, but I would be on board with a loot filter and some kind of, I'm not going to fight over which one, but a currency tab, some kind of stacking, something along those lines, whatever everybody thought was the best choice.
I shall purge this land of the shadow.
Ooh, on the way out I could find something crazy. On the way out to get the Lego. But yeah, quality of life stuff. I don't want anything to change the base gameplay and itemization of the game, really. Do I have this build like my guide, or is it different at all? So it's pretty much just like the guide, with the exception of I have no magic find on, so I'm not using Enigma. It's about the only difference. I'm just rocking a hustle. It's it's just about the only difference, to be perfectly honest. What was I doing? Oh yeah. What if they had player difficulty to online, says VV? I'm pretty positive they wouldn't do that, because what it would do is just cause everybody to just only play in their game solo by themselves all the time, and nobody would ever play with anyone else ever. It would completely eliminate the one thing that pushes people to play in games with each other. It's literally the only thing. So, Honey Bun says just shutting off potion drops. Yeah, if you could just shut off, like, cracked items and stuff. Bolts. You know. Antidotes and keys. You know. Just that right there would be mega help. Bolts. Keys. You know. Guess there's not that many cracked things out here, but, you know. Crude ancient swords and keys and... The small amounts of gold, too, is very beneficial. Like, any gold under 500, you just don't see. At some point, you know, and you could, like, toggle it on and off if you wanted to. Because right here, there would be nothing. Nothing would have dropped out of any of that. No items. Barthemus says, don't play well with others. Yeah, I would say to most people, anyone who does want, like, online to have the players count slider to be able to change, probably just play offline single player. Because if you're not going to play with anyone anyways, you never have lag. You can pause it if you're playing single player. You can change the players count. Obviously, there's a lot of other reasons too, but Korun, I don't even pick those up anymore, actually. Oh. You can dupe all your items. You can just cheat massively. Yeah, see, exactly. Ugh. While true, I wouldn't recommend doing that. It really does. Well, I would have to say I would imagine anyways. I've heard stories. I've never done it, but I mean, I've done it to, like, try it. I don't do it. But duping all your items, like, oh, I don't really want to run Lower Kuras to get Enigma. I'll just dupe up a bunch of runes, and I'll only do it for Enigma, though. And I can see where that would go. Well, do I really want to, you know, try to get 2 Burr runes to make Infinity? I'll just dupe those runes up, and I mean, if I'm already duping stuff, I'll just make Call to Arms, and ooh, this Call to Arms rolled bad. I'll just make some more runes. And then this one didn't roll good either. I'll just make more runes, you know, like, that's how, I'm sure that's how it goes, right, fellas? Somebody in chat's done that before, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Would I consider next season hardcore? Next season, no. Would I say never ever? I wouldn't say never ever, but I also don't have any desire to, so. But it's not like the craziest thing to start to play a hardcore character.
I need a key.
Don't like hardcore. I don't like having to pay attention that much. If I played hardcore, I know and I appreciate how many people are in here today. But I'm even struggling to read. I try to read all the comments, but it's impossible to do today. There's just so many people. For my brain, anyways, to read and respond. But if I was playing hardcore, I would never read any of your comments ever again. I just would never read them. So, and I don't think that's, you know, and I also don't like hardcore. So it's like a combination of like, I would never read chat and I would hate it. So, yeah. The number of times I'm like reading chat, I'm like, wah, 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 wah. I just get ripped. Rough. Ooh. Eric up a minute ago, the whole, when I was talking about duping stuff, said that's exactly why you never tried it. Yeah, good idea. Oh, what? What? Wicked Plumber. Coming in like the Giga Chad that he is. This is usually for Printer Fridays, but we're bringing it today. Thank you so much, you absolute legend. Ooh, yeah. Thank you so much, Wicked Plumber, for the generosity. I think that was the exact amount of ridiculousness. I think that was fun. That was fun. I acted just stupid enough that it was fun, and not cringe at all, right? Not cringe a little bit. All fun, no cringe. Thank you so much, Wicked Plumber, once again. Just absolute crazy generosity. Crom says I'll never win. You got one. You got a membership there, or did you already have one from before? I can't tell. Woe indeed. Woe indeed. Demon Matthew. First time playing a D2R. Thanks for the YouTube videos. Welcome into the best game ever made. Thanks for watching. Welcome into the stream. White Choco, what's going on? Welcome in. Yo, yo, yo. Crom says, oh, you usually never win. Okay. Well, today's your day, huh? Go buy a lotto ticket, because you're a winner today. Oh. Did I check this? Need that. I think I did. It was no bueno. The Sky Spirit here, too. Could buy get a flickering flame base or something if it was. I think I checked that one, actually. Christopher Leslie, what's going on? Good to see you again. High runes have I found? Oh, boy, I don't know, like ever? Or like since I've been running cows? Not many since I've been running cows. All time, I couldn't possibly say. Hundreds? I don't know. Not know. Enough that on single player I stopped like wanting to save them, and I'm cubing them up to higher runes. This whole page right here is all just runes that I don't need, and I'm going to cube those together to go up to higher ones that I do need.
As Varthimus donated $49.99
Varthimus!
through Super Chat. Gotta keep up. Here's another donation to your gas bill for the month.
Thank you so much for the huge, crazy, insane Super Chat. Varthimus! Oh my gosh. A $50 Super Chat, bro. Thank you so much. You legend! Absolute legend, absolute legend. Thank you for the generosity. Oh, yeah. Appreciate you. Jeez. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Don't even know what to say sometimes. The generosity of some of y'all legends. Now Phil can buy new printer paper. I actually already put in the order for... I bought... how much did I buy? was it 1,000 sheets? I think there was 2 reams of 500. Why do they call a pack of paper a ream anyways? At first it scared me because I was thinking it was like that paper that spools back and forth, you know, from the super old school printers. Because that's what I would picture that. I don't know why. But then I looked and it was just like copy print paper printer. I never really looked into why they call it a ream. I don't know. Not a normal word that people use in normal conversation, am I right? But yeah, I'm almost gone. I had 2 packs over here from before, and yeah, they're gone. We've been printing like madmen over here. Printer still lives? What kind of question is that? Yeah, of course it does. This is the printer camp. Of course it does. It's alive. Old word for bundle? That can't be true. I'm just joking. I mean, it makes sense. White Choco followed the cure on the Novasaur Game Changer. Do I use cure anywhere else? Sometimes I use it a lot, actually. If I'm ever taking a character to like the Stony Tombs, it's usually on a where I'm running basis. If I'm using a Fire Druid in the Stony Tombs, it's easy to survive there as long as you don't get poisoned by certain monsters that poison the Jesus out of you. So sometimes I'll throw on my mercenary the cure prayer with the, you know, the exact same setup as on the whatchamacallit. So it'll get rid of your poison, and any poison damage you do take, it'll just like, it'll tick up. It doesn't shoot up, but it'll like, you know, and it'll slowly be back up. So select different difficulty. I got a macro. I just have a macro if you know what that is set up. Oh, let's see. Yep. Re-up some Sienna. No, I don't. I have a laser printer. I would never, ever, 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 ever buy an inkjet printer in my life. It's like if you ever want to like print something in color one time and then 2 months later have the ink completely dry out and have to go spend a bunch of money on ink again after you printed once or twice. Yeah, buy a color printer. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't looked into purchasing printers lately, so I don't know if like colored laser printers are like real cheap nowadays. Really have no idea, but Plague Crystal Sword as a caster. No, I don't really ever make Plague, so as a caster, so you would forego all of your plus skills in FCR, or isn't it lower res when struck on Plague? It has other things too, but I think that's like, I'm trying to think. I need to find a good sword to make Plague in, but I'm not making it in a low level one like that on single player. I was gonna make one for my Act 5er, but yeah, that's just my take on it, White Choco. Anytime I use the cure prayer, you know, cure insight, or you know, cure prayer mercenary on any other builds, people like comment how that's not smart to do. Like, why would you do that? It's such a waste. But I'm like, because I don't want to be poisoned all the time. And the mercenary survives fine. Like, do I really need Fortitude and Darl's Visage? Like, he ain't doing anything. He's walking around with auras for me to use, so. But yeah. Mythic best base, yeah. I'm looking for any of those ones. It doesn't even have to be the best, but Mythic or is Cryptic another good option, depending on whoever says, you know. I know there's always people out there that say the absolute best no matter what is this, and that you shouldn't do, you know, but you shouldn't use the base that's 1% better or whatever, or worse, but I'm not too, you know, concerned about stuff like that. Like, if the difference between 2 rune words is so small that, like, I could sneak onto your account, swap them out, and you would never know the difference, then I don't really care about the, I don't care about the difference between the bases, you know. Yeah, DGen says the amazing quality of life of the cleansing meditation prayer. Yeah. True story. True story. And yeah, that's what, even on some characters, it's not like, it doesn't work fully. But like I said with the Fire Druid, I'll throw Infinity on there and not have the meditation, just to have the cleansing, and then you got like a little baby prayer aura that kind of helps you out a little bit, you know. It doesn't do a ton, but over the course of a run, if you just like don't want your life to slowly tick down from poison, you know. I do. Mopfred. Yo! Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Who? Oh yeah, honey, you say, honey bun, you got the... Oh, I actually seen this rune. I literally stared at it for a second. I literally stared at it like, is that a Sur rune or is it a Soul rune? Is it a Sur or is it a Soul? Is it a Sur or a Soul? And then finally my brain registered, wait a second, that's a high rune. Nice. There we go. That's what I don't understand. This is how my life's always been. I find Sur runes way more often than like most other runes. Like, I find Sur runes as often as I find like ohms and like stuff. I don't know. I'm happy about it though. Good old Sur.
It's locked.
The quarter jaw right there. I ain't mad. Appreciate y'all. A lot of congrats and them cows and yay. Ooh, not doing that. Let me pull something up real quick. I was just thinking. I always forget what's on Plague. Which, like, everything, you know, what all it would look like and what you would technically lose if you... Probably pretty small down here. Let me, Why is it not zooming in? Oh, there we go. Oh, no, my, Devastating. I had a, a plugin for my browser where you could zoom in and out, and the browser broke. The browser plugin is broken. Devastating. Like a different type of zoom. It's hard to... Yeah, lower res when struck. It's got a couple skills on it. Plague on a caster, huh? I mean, a poison I guess you can get away with. Lower res when struck, though, is tragic. Huh. This is interesting. I just kind of wanted to look at it real quick. Because I don't have... the rune words I never make, I don't have, like, completely fully memorized, so... Yeah, the Act 5 Merc is the one I'm going for, and that makes more sense. The Act 5 Merc, Leroy Jenkins is in there, and he gets all beat up, and that works out fine, you know? You got your Cleansing Aura, the lower res is going to cast quite often because he gets hit so often, and yeah. Don't know about on a caster, though, if I could... Maybe if you had one laying around and you wanted to make a Poison Necro or something, but... The larger group together here. The weapon Act 3 mercenaries can wear. They got, it's one-handed swords, right? So if you made like a plague, you could throw it on an Act 3 mercenary too, but that's not really what you'd want to do. I don't really know what you'd want to do for Act 3 mercs. I know occasionally there's uses, like, they're not optimal uses, but you can use them to be different type of situation. But I don't ever do that because, you know, it's hard to get away from, like, the Act 2 mercenary auras, you know? In my opinion. And then the survivability, Act 5 is just crazy. Mega survivability, right? Yeah, shattered up a minute ago saying Cham is Plague. Yeah, I do know that there's a Cham in it, which is... Oof. Woof, woof, woof. Yeah, Crom, I'm with there too. Yeah, I almost always use the Act 2. And then occasionally the faux paladin. I think I always use Act 5 there because Act 2 is fine. It's good. It works great, of course. But it's a good spot to use the Act 5. And there's a few others. I forget what build I was doing the other day that Act 5 would have been good, and I just didn't use it. I don't remember. Move these over here. Why not? This is my Big Rocks page, by the way. So I already got the two Zods to make both those rune words. I just have to, like, do it. But unfortunately, my Cham and Zod section is quite low because there's so many rune words. I made Last Wish already, so I don't need to make that one. But I still need like 4 more Jaws or something and like 4 more Chams to make every rune word in the game, at minimum. I might even need, I don't even know for sure, probably a couple burrs, maybe even. Like, I don't know if I have enough burrs to make the rune words and a cube together to make burrs, you know what I'm saying, like that. So getting there though, we're getting there. Getting there. Plague on a druid. The damage, I mean, minus poison res, maybe like a what you call it, rabies druid or something. Yeah, I'm not seeing the whole plague on a caster like outside of, because it's got the minus poison on it. It does have like 300 something enhanced deep damage, 280 to 300, 320 I think it was, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Guess I kind of don't see it. Any high runes been found? Oh yeah, you just missed one. You just missed one. Appreciate you, unicorns galore. Amazing how much the game's changed over the years here. Yeah, a little bit. D2R, since in D2R. Sometimes I forget. Like, if I went back to LOD, it would be crazy. Kind of. They made rune drops more since 1.13. Like, are you just saying unicorn since LOD? They did since LOD. I don't remember when different changes were made, but in late LOD and now, like, they didn't like jack up the drop rates like or anything like that since 09. Oh, like back in the day when you like wouldn't find any runes ever. I don't really remember what they were and when they changed, so I guess I can't really, you know, I didn't pay too much attention back then. I was just some random kid playing Diablo 2 after football practice and stuff like that, so. Just started playing D2R again. Whack-a-doodle-doo. After a long time playing, appreciate the info. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching. No need to thank me. It's all me that needs to be thanking y'all for hanging out and watching, hitting the like button, all that good stuff. Hitting the like button on YouTube. Don't underestimate how legendary that is. Playing Hammerden, 45 Act 3 Nightmare. He dies so fast. Spirit Sword, Rhyme, Stealth. You die so fast. What kind of build are you doing? Because at that point you should probably swap to Hammerden if you haven't done so already, I think. Yeah. Unless, I mean, you can play whatever you want, of course. You don't have to go to Hammerden, but for ease of play. And you don't play it like an endgame Hammerden where you like are making out with all the other monsters. You like throw hammers from back here and then you back up and throw hammers and back up and throw hammers. Oh, yeah. What character would you use a upgraded rib cracker? I mean, Fury Druid. You can rock that on like a whirlwind barb for a random budget option if you have one around. And you know, if you already have one, you don't throw it on your whirlwind barb, it can work out. Oh boy. I can't think of any off the top of my head that I have ever used it on. I mean, a budget wolf howl barb? Yeah. I guess so. done that for. Trying to make sure I don't miss nothing. Wackadoodle started making a Javazon, you said? See how it is? Yeah, Java's, well, it's definitely good. If you have, House is its main jam, unless you get, like, the best gear in the game, and then you can just do everything, like, awesomely. If you have, like, you know, 10 high runes worth of gear. Like Infinity, Enigma, you know, all the good stuff. Griffin's Eyes. Ricky P, welcome in. Spanglish, you said you maxed out Cold Lightning and Almost Fire? Cold Lightning and Fire. Like the auras? Boy, I'm not exactly sure what you're saying you're doing there, but just in my head, it doesn't sound exactly right. But, you know, if you're just not familiar with it or whatever, and you're just trying different things out, I could, you know, I could see how that happened. I remember back when I started, my first Necromancer was a Bone Spirit Necro, because I just assumed that the skill at the bottom of the skill tree was the best one. So I went all into that. But yeah, you kind of gotta, like, really go into one to get anything out of them. And anything that's like melee where you gotta walk up and fight things is gonna be real tough on a playthrough. They're very gear dependent. Casters, you can sit back and you know, just throws things from a distance, but you die fast because of resistances. Yeah, hopefully you should be able to get yourself some kind of pally shield that you can find with some good res on it. Make yourself a pally spirit. Because paladin shields can get 4 open sockets way earlier. You can get those in like Nightmare. That can get like up to 45 res. I'm pretty sure they can get 45 res in Nightmare. If not, they can at least get some res and then get 4 sockets in it. Or if it's just a white one, you can use a Larzik quest and get 4 sockets in a paladin shield and then make a spirit in it, and you'll have like, let's say it has any resistance in the base at all. You'll have like 80 all res, pretty much, on your shield, so. Yeah, the base shield already having res, exactly their tech though. So you get the base res and the spirit shield res on it too. And then you get block rate, block chance, I think, and like your survivability is like 60 bagillion. Or yeah, you could make a rhyme in a pally shield, get you 25 all res on top of, like, let's say the shield we'll just say the 2-socketed shield has 25 res already, so there'll be 50 there. You cannot be frozen, you know, little magic find. Is it easier to play through as a Lightning or Blizzard? You're probably talking Sorceress, I'm guessing, Lightning or Blizzard. Probably, definitely Blizzard. Most people will much prefer also having a little bit into like Firewall or Hydra just to take care of certain instances of lightning immunes and stuff. Or I mean cold immunes. Specifically the Ancients. But I wouldn't go super heavy, and then I'd eventually respec after the game was over. Okay, well, let's go. Ooh, boy, I'm about to get Hauser quick. Let me look here. Don't want to miss anything. I was trying to reach. Yeah, whatever. Mantis said he used to remake characters back in the day because if you misclicked and clicked a different wrong skill. I didn't do that, man. It was tragic back in the day when you'd be like level 73 or something after you finished the game. Like you had someone like rush you or help you get through the game, and then you realize you made your character wrong, or I know I've done that before where I clicked a button wrong on accident and I got a point into a skill that I just didn't want to put any points into, and I was like, well, that's a wasted point because I'm not playing through with another character now. because there's no respecs. And I definitely did it before, where my first job is, or my first Amazon I played through, I did all wrong, and I had to play through the, I had to go through the game again, and then I made my Javazon right. So Jay Jones says Hydra Orb. You can do Hydra Orb, it'll work for sure. Blizzard's just like easier to play and stuff, like, but you can kind of like go Blizzard Orb is a very viable option. Reset tokens were a godsend. Not even just reset tokens, but the Akara quest reset. When I like first played, they didn't even have those, unless I was just a complete idiot and didn't know they existed, which is not possible. Best class for beginners? I mean, I'd almost say if your girlfriend wants to try to start up, probably go with like one of the druids, to be honest, with all the summons and stuff. Because the thing is now too, if you're going into D2R, you don't have to just go like summons, but it's going to be right off the start of the game. I would probably go maybe like a fire druid, and then you can always use some summons too. This is not, oh, this is set up for fire. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. Because yeah, you can have, I don't have all the summons set up and stuff, but just with a few points into them, you know. And I don't know what kind of gear you're going to give her for endgame gear or whatever, but you can have all these summons, and then you can be out here, you know, with the summons out defending you, you know. Or if you're going to play like quote-unquote together, she could be like a summoner, and you could be something else, you know. This is players 8 too, and I have no gear on, but what are my hotkeys here? I don't even know what they are. The cast things. I don't know, but yeah, I'm no gear, players 8, you know. Guess I got skillers down here, but just a little detour there, no big deal. Prom saying Nova Orb's fun. I've tried it before. That one's a little tougher to play, right? On a playthrough, I can see that one being a little more difficult. Thunder Charm. Oh. Atrophia saying the Akara came later. Yeah, I wasn't sure how later though. Like if it was before I started playing. I got the game right when the battle chest came out. I played it for a few different times at a friend's house before that, and then when the battle chest came out, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get that game. Oh, the free respec makes the playthroughs funner, says Mantis, because you can mess around a little bit. Yeah, and maybe not even necessarily mess around, but you can like try to figure it out on your own. It's not like oh, I better make sure I do this all exactly right by the book, you know, exactly what it says on, you know, the forum or whatever, because if I don't, my build's completely messed up and it'll ruin everything, you know. But man, yeah. Having to play through other characters and stuff, like when you don't know anybody and you can't get someone to rush you through the game. Even though back in the day getting rushed was way easier than nowadays, but not that it's super hard nowadays either, but yeah, it was tragic when I was like, man, my necromancer stinks and my Amazon's built wrong too, and my, you know, and there's no way to respec, you just have to play through the game and beat it again. Tragic. Oh, okay. Realistic for 13 patch. New stash tabs. Something to adjust mosaic so that it's not completely busted. That's the only thing I think, like, for sure. Maybe extra characters on online allowed or something. Fishaholic said, you remember being so hard to level back in the day because you didn't want to put any skills into the lower ones because there were no synergies? Yeah, I sort of remember that. Hard to remember everything when I was, you know, it's hard to remember everything from 25 years ago. I think I sort of remember that. I think. But yeah, I got rushed a lot. Or I would like hop onto a rush that was happening and get like part of it, and then like, you know, play through the game a little bit and get rushed a little bit. And you come over here. We need to lure the cows out a little further. Yeah, Mo. Marty, yo! Welcome in. This rock. Oh, thought that was Lucky Rock. This. Oh, never mind. Poppables are for the birds. How come not use Enigma? I mean, the teleport frames on Sorceress anyways aren't really that great. Enigma does have the walk run on it too, but this has, I'm actually rocking Hustle that has a bunch of increased attack speed so you can deal out damage faster. But also, kind of as a gimmick for my future video that I'm going to do for the drop highlights, like I always do, 0 magic find cows. Since I'm not Holy Grailing anymore anyways, I don't really need magic find. And I'm hoping for rune word bases, so less magic find should technically mean more rune word bases instead of magic stuff, so that was recent, I guess. Oh, yes! Yes! Did you guys see that? Let's go! Woo, baby! Woo, baby! Lem, 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 lem. Hype, 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 hype. Yes. Good thing I didn't find one of those boring jaws or something. A lem out of the poppable. Man, I gotta start hitting more poppables, am I right? Yes, I'm half kidding. Anyone who doesn't know, I am half kidding, but I'm dead serious though. Double serious, but joking. But serious. Hype, hype, hype. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing I do. I do a lot of funny stuff, don't I? I started doing that just because people used to attack me in the comments, like, why is this idiot showing lem runes in his highlights? Like, who really cares? It's just a stupid lem rune. Like, why do you even show them? And then I started acting all super excited about it. Like, you have to have a limit somewhere of the lowest rune you'll find, right? That's where I decided to put it, and they did not like it. So I started showing them even more often, and then acting even crazier about it. Come on, Lem Lem. Atrophia says you pick up every rune and upgrade them. Yeah, I just decided, like, I never want to save, like, every single rune. Or, like, all the little gems. Did you need to cube up the runes? So that's why at some point I said, you know what? Lem is the cutoff. I used to save Lum and higher, but now it's Lem. Why do you like Lems more than Hyrule? No, it's just a joke, Night Death. Just a joke that I do. Mark making yo. Rob Corp. Uber cows would be cool for season 13. Well, I mean, cows is Uber cows, like not just terrorized, but you mean whatever Uber means. Double density cows for season 13. No, they're gonna bring back white rings, X chimes. Yeah, Zorzek. I'm not a big fan of the whole needing the one rune to cube up the runes either. Or need the one gem, I mean, to cube the runes up. Not a big fan of that. I wish it was just like something simple, or I don't know. Oh, knife. I guess I'll check it. Garbage. Best druid build? Oh boy. I'm a proponent of the windy still, but some people love their fire druid, so I still think a decked out windy is the best. Whoops. Troll fill instead of sweet fill? No. I'm just having a good time. Because there's a bunch of people trying to be downers about me picking up Lem runes. I'm powering through in spite of their trolliness. Should you make Chains of Honor for my Javazan? Chains of Honor for your Javazan. I would wait to make something else. I don't think I've ever used Chains of Honor on an Amazon before. Don't think I ever have, to be honest. Couple skills, bunch of res, I get it, but Jay Jones saying leveling up a Barb there at 25-30, tough. Yes, Barb is one of my most disliked playthroughs in leveling out of any character. At that level, I think, honestly, what I usually, at that point, I'm almost positive, I always set it to P8, and I just blast Eldritch over and over again for like an hour until I get to like level 50 or 60 or so. I don't even know what. Or not even that high, no. At that, you'd be like at the end of normal, you'd be normal difficulty P8 Eldritch. I just blast till I'm like level 45 or something. Smokes, why'd it get freezing in my basement all of a sudden? Oh, I know why. I know why. The ground around me is all frozen. Anyone who doesn't know, I stream in my basement. So the ground around the house is all frozen solid. I live in Michigan. But it's warmer outside today. Like it's supposed to get up into the upper 20s or the mid 20s. So the furnace isn't kicking on as often. So it's not warming my basement. Because the thermostat is upstairs. Devastating. I might have to go 3 o'clock. I might have to go get a hoodie. Oh, it's almost 3 o'clock. Oh my! I forgot I got on a little bit later than I meant to. I made it short earlier, and I went to the gym, and man, I gotta go pick my daughter up from school, and then I gotta take her to dance class tonight, and which is, you know, you do it. You're a parent. You love your kids, right, and stuff, but. Another Diablo showcase question. So I think it's just going to be shared stash tabs and like, oh, Umrunes. The poppables is the only. I did get a Seraph cow, but a couple mid runes, 2 runs in a row. All right, little Noise. What's the minimum specs requirements for Darkhaven? I have no idea. No idea. If you can run Diablo 2, you can probably run Darkhaven. Almost pretty much 100%. I would say that. Almost 100. Not literally 100, but that would be my guess. I'd be very confident in that. At least 3, says Swish. Nice. Kind of funny. Just because I didn't think of it. Just need an IO for a grief. Hopefully you get it. I'm assuming you mean low. The lowercase L. That was a good joke on my part, wasn't it? Stewed Prune, the player's 8. P8. I guess I could lower it to 7. I talked about this the other day. I keep forgetting. Because I'm doing playthroughs and I set it to P8 to level faster when I mess around doing playthroughs here and there. And then I forget to change it back. But it's like, would it be a lot faster on P7? Nah, probably not. Probably not. Frenzy or Berserk better? Also, would you pair Grief with Lawbringer or Unbending Will? Yeah, Lawbringer's a cool one. A lot of people like that one. I mean, Berserk or Frenzy. Frenzy is more, like, it depends what you're doing. If you're going to go out to Trav with Berserk, you have to, like, set your character up specifically to, like, survive Trav, you know? And if you don't have specific gear to set up to survive Trav, you don't leech any life with Berserk because it transfers all the melee to magic damage. So if you want to leech life back at a high clip, you have to do kind of Frenzy. If you don't have, like, perfect gear. Universo podcast, maybe? I think that 2 is supposed to be an S. Thanks for watching the vids. Glad the faux one helped you out. Chagrak said I had a good time leveling up my Shout Barb. Okay. Once I got dual spirit insight, it was a breeze. Yeah, I've definitely done it. And I always go that route, dual spirit. I don't know. Never a breeze for me, bro. Never a breeze for me. We could have different definitions of breeze. It also depends what you're comparing it to, because if you're comparing it to blasting, like, you know, leveling a sorceress or something, or any other build, I don't know. It seems kind of slow to me, but, you know, just an opinion, of course. I think the Cow King's gonna drop something good this time. Is that really live? Not sure. Are you talking about the... Not sure what you're asking. What's live? Sorry, I got behind and didn't know what that was in context to. Who called it a shout barb? I mean, that's fine. Singer, shouts, war cry. I mean, I don't know. That's fine. I understood it. There's a lot of things I don't understand, but I understood that one. Rob says, I can't let it slide. Also live in Michigan, and yes, we're loving the near 32-degree temp. Heat wave. Is it supposed to be that warm today? I thought that was till tomorrow. Oh, yeah. See, it's 25 degrees today. Yeah. Yeah. Real quick here, I got to text my mother-in-law about some stuff with the daughter. Give me, like, 1 second. Don't go anywhere, but hit the like button, though. Oopsie. Wipe text killing me over here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Every word's wrong. Might as well just type it out. Might as well T9 it. There's a deep cut. Anyone remember T9? You know what that means? Not the Terminator? Okay, the swipe text is broke, I guess. My phone's just busted. Real quick. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, sorry. Talking about the T9 texting. Anyone remembers that? 57 in Missouri. Yeah, that's what's crazy, because I don't know if anyone, I mentioned it a few times, but I'm going to Arizona here in a little bit. And the temperatures, the highs are supposed to be like 60 in Phoenix. Like, what is going on here? Like, you just don't go to Phoenix expecting it to be like 62, like a high. At night, like, at night the lows are supposed to be like 41 and stuff. Like, it's crazy. Any leaks on the anniversary stuff? I mean, a lot of people claim to have heard leaks, yeah. Any actual leaks? I mean, that's to be determined. I've heard leaks from everything from people saying there's supposed to be an expansion, they're adding a new character in D2R, they're all sorts of crazy stuff I've heard from people, but I don't believe most of the leaks, no. Marty says I need a GoFundMe for a new GPU and I need a new CPU. I don't need no CPU. I gotta buy a new phone first. My phone is like, I forget how old my phones get because I buy these they used to be called Actives, but then this one's called an X cover from Samsung, and they're like phones that are built out of just steel cases. They last forever. It's like a cheat code, to be honest. But the only problem is they last so long that I forget that I've had them for like years and years and years and years. Like, I don't even buy a case for them because they're so like strong. Crazy. But anyways, then eventually they stop updating the operating system, and then they just like go defunct essentially. The phone like self-destructs because of the operating system. You have to buy a new one. I look and I'm like, oh, I bought this phone like 5 years ago. Jeez. But yeah. Note 9. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm using it's called the X-Cover Pro. It wasn't like released to the public, but it was like the type of phone that they made for police and fire department and stuff. So it's like waterproof up to a certain distance, and it's like they're like cheap too, relative. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Not great, but interesting. Apps no longer compatible. Yeah, that's what you get. My phone, what my phone started doing now is it just started resetting all the time randomly. Which could be a lot of different things. I could try a factory reset on it, and then it could like solve whatever, you know, maybe one of the apps is this or that or blah blah blah, but I mean, when your phone's so many years old, you know, you're just like, well, there's actually certain apps that I've tried to download, and it's like, this app is not compatible with your phone, and I'm like, what? Like, how is this possible? Like, okay, I guess I'm not using that one. Forced obsolescence. Yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, they do that. That's for sure. Boy, we need to get this guy to stop using his phone. Let's send him that update that makes his battery last a really short amount of time. Like that one that Apple got in trouble for doing that. That is so sketch. So sketch. Yeah. So my phone, the Samsung, but I mean, it probably got some update that's something like that or whatever. You know, that's what happened. What kind of phone am I thinking of getting? Whatever phone's remarkably like the one I got now. I got to figure out what they're called nowadays. It was called a Active before, and this one's called a X-Cover Pro. And I got to figure out what they call them nowadays. Every like 5 or 10 years, they change the name of it. Some other kind of like super indestructible phone. Because yeah, like they're so... This one actually has a black back case on it. That's plastic, but like you can take the back off and you can replace the battery and put in extra SD cards. There's slots for multiple SIM cards if you want it to be like a drug dealer phone. Like half drug dealer phone, half regular phone. Just kidding, by the way. No, I wouldn't do a drug dealer phone, but But yeah, the old one I had, literally the entire phone was steel. Literally was steel. My mom wanted me to get her a new phone. I was like, yeah, you should get mine. It's like indestructible. And she picks it up. She's like, oh my god, this thing's so heavy. Like it could have made of steel. Made in jabs. Uh-oh. Might have to go ahead and check these out. Cat was a good steel rugged phone. I never like Cat like the. I've never heard of that or whatever. Not sure. Marty says $200 Motorola, can't complain. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, if it lasts you. That's what I paid for. I buy my phones. I always buy them. They're like mint condition refurbished or whatever, you know, because you can get them for like way cheaper. They're like, depending on which phone you get and how old it is or whatever, you can get them for like $200, maybe $300 if it's like real expensive. But it'll be like, you know, mint condition, like little to no signs of any kind of wear at all, you know. So every like 5 years, I buy like a $300 used phone. Don't even have to buy a case or nothing for it; just lasts forever. Remember when otter boxes were cool, right? $60 otter boxes. Ooh. Cost as much as the phone. The way I buy them, anyways. Chest piece am I using? Actually rocking Hustle. Run, 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 and got increased attack speed. There still is X-Cover Pros. Nice! Well, that's what I'm going to get then, a new one of those. I wish they still made the active kind, though. That was like my favorite one. I had this, that was an S8, actually. S8 active, I think. But it was like camo blue. I think it was like digital camo, but it was like a blue color. And it was just solid steel. You know. The one I have now has that, it's all black with the back case would come off. You can take the battery out and you can take out the SIM card and everything like that. Just like the old phones used to be. But actually, I like the steel one better. It just seemed so cool. The solid steel thing, like. Was there any proof that Apple did that? They were found guilty in court, Marty, yeah, and they had to pay. How much do they have to pay? You'd have to Google it. Apple settlement for ruining people's batteries? I don't know how to search it up. What search thing should I put in there? Apple paid $113 million in 2020 for intentionally throttling old phone batteries to mask performance issues, supposedly. Prevent unexpected shutdown. That's what they said. Not to shorten your battery so you'd go buy a new phone, but so what? I thought it was more money than that, but it was only $113 million. I thought it was like more hundreds of millions. Oh. Not found guilty.
I shall purge this land of the shadow.
Definitely would have been cheaper just to be found innocent and not have to pay anything, but. But yeah, y'all can believe whatever you want, I guess. I 100% assumed that Apple was doing that, and Samsung does something similar, and a bunch of companies do things like that, I think. You say so, Marty. You obviously like Apple or something, I guess. That it is what it is. I think all those companies do stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know. I would be surprised if my Samsung right now is doing the stuff it did because of that kind of stuff. Like I said a minute ago. But, yep. I'm a well-known Apple, not well-known, but I am definitively, I will admit this, hate Apple. I do hate Apple. Got rid of their headphone jack. I think they brought it back eventually, right? But the whole time when they had a different charging port than everybody else did, and I think the EU forced them to finally like go to the normal charging so that they couldn't like lock their people into the ecosystem and they could never switch phones unless they had to switch all of their any chargers they had anywhere, and their headphones wouldn't work with other things and all that kind of stuff. And the EU like sued them to have to change that, and then they just changed it everywhere because what I'd heard, you know, believe what you want, I guess, but it makes sense that they didn't want to have multiple production lines for United States and EU and other countries and stuff, so they finally, after whatever, they just made it all the same. But yeah, slaves to Microsoft though. Like referring to like Windows, are you saying? Kind of, if that's what you're. I think so. If that's what you're referring to. Yeah. There's not really a lot of diversity in the whole ecosystem of electronics, much really, is there? But I mean, the Galaxy, the Galaxy platform runs on a bunch of different companies' hardware, at least, right? I don't know. I don't know. No, not an expert fully. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but not an expert on all that mumbo jumbo, I guess. Like literally everything. Karma Jolt, welcome in. Found an Ormond this morning. Congrats on that one. Ooh, yeah. Floyd saying Verizon sketchy. Yeah, no, I don't like Verizon either. My sister has Verizon, and what they don't have, she doesn't have like a normal SIM card. Her like the chip is like locked in the phone. You can't just buy a phone and put your SIM card in it and use it like I can. She has to go get her, I don't know, whatever she had to do, but I don't remember. But that's a bit weird. Cyclone armor. Let's see. Had it for 2 months. My bill went over $100. I called twice and they brought it back to 88. Okay. You just got it and they instantly raised your bill, you're saying, is what happened? Interesting. Floyd, you say your friend's paranoid, your phone's spying on them? Oh, your phone absolutely does listen to you and spies on you, yes. 100%. Literally, me and my wife have sat there and talked about something, and then like 3 hours later, we look at our phones, and we have like ads for the thing we were talking about. Like that's no doubt, 100%. Never searched it. Nothing I had spoken about forever in my entire life, and yeah, that's 100% that happened. Undeniable. I'd fight anyone to the death on that one. A lot of phones move to eSIM cards. What does an eSIM card even mean? I don't even know what that means. Like, you don't have a physical SIM card? Yeah, I've always had a SIM card personally, but that's so you have to buy a phone from them. You can't just like buy a used phone from somebody else. That's what I assumed it was for, but I got you, Floyd. Gotcha. FNX says the 8-pin lightning, now they have to use the USB-C. Yeah, and I think from what I understand, they switched all their stuff to that. I had thought because they didn't want to have like multiple assembly lines for like different countries, but countries whatevers. Palmer said you haven't had a SIM card since BlackBerry days. Have you been on Verizon the whole time? Oh, because I think that Verizon's been like that for like ever. I have AT&T, so. Maras! They have SIMs, pretty rare. Not really used a ton, but it is kind of rare. Kind of rare. Kind of rare. Yes, USB-C is standard now. Gotcha. Gotcha. I knew it was for everybody, but I thought that, yeah, Apple had to switch too, but, you know. See, another reason to hate Apple says Erica, eSIM only unless you buy the super expensive phones. So I must have missed it. Somebody probably said it. Could someone repeat down at the bottom what eSIM? What is that like? That means there is no like real SIM card or like a SIM card you could take out, right? Everything's locked in the phone. You have to go to the store and they have to hook it up to their computer and whatever. Or you could, I mean, you could probably be a genius or something. Not a genius, but a computer person to figure out how to do it yourself. But Onstead doing pretty good. Welcome in. Scan it via Wi-Fi. Gotcha. So yeah, just the one that's trapped on the inside. Gotcha. Gotcha. That's what I figured. Of course, that's why I said it, I guess. But yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, that's annoying. That's probably why I ended up with the AT&T that I got, because this kind of gives you an extra option on phones and stuff. You don't have to go buy theirs for $1,700 phone from the store. I bought one phone from the store in my entire life. Like, I went to the store and bought it, and I had to pay like $35 a month for this phone, and it broke before it was like maybe it was $28 a month. $28 a month for like 30 months. And I had a 24 month like contract or whatever. And the phone broke after like less than 2 years. And I was like, okay, never doing that again. Never doing that again. Palmer says they can even program those phones through cell towers, huh? Ooh. Party says, how would I be able to help you with your problem if I was an Apple guy? Well, you can't use Apple computers for anything good. I just meant the Apple phones and stuff. I mean, Apple computers, like I haven't known someone who had a Mac computer or Apple or anything. I don't know if I've ever met somebody in my life. Not since those Apple computers that had the color on the back, you know? The floppy disk to play Oregon Trail on. Everything built right into the whole setup, you know? Because can't you, like, there's almost no games you can play on a MacBook. Like, anyone who plays video games, like, you can't buy a MacBook or any type of Mac computer. They don't work, right? Barthmus had a couple Macs. Okay. Yeah, those little Macintoshes. Exactly. Okay, 3:14. Don't let me forget my daughter today. I gotta. Okay. Don't let me forget my daughter, by the way. I gotta get off at 3:30, so I got like 15 minutes. Palmer, you're a web dev. You find Macs easier. Yeah, I mean, I've heard people. I've heard like, where did I hear it at? I don't even know. Like, some type of work stuff is like people use Macs and say that they're easier, but I don't know how that's possible. And they always say you get way less viruses, but I'm like, well, yeah, the people who make viruses aren't going to make viruses for, you know, the 5% of computers out there. They're going to make it for the 95% of Windows computers out there. So that's going to be the one that's going to give them the most payback, right?
I can't carry anymore. I need a key.
Like if you had a, you know, I don't know. If you have a Commodore 64, you probably don't get a lot of viruses either. Video editing superior on Mac? Wonder why that would be. I mean, it would be like the same programs, right? Because like I know the DaVinci Resolve, the one I use, works for Mac and PC. Like it's the same program. I don't know why it would be better. But yeah, I guess I don't know. That's kind of the stuff. Make not video editing because I didn't know anyone who would video edit, I guess. But I've just heard people say that for work stuff, but I didn't really understand why. It didn't make any sense to me. I was like, whatever. Can't play Diablo on it, so what are you gonna do? You probably could, but you had to like. I remember to play Diablo 2 on a Mac, you had to like. I don't know. You had to do some weird shenanigans back in the day. I remember reading about it. I thought. Or I could just be making it up. Now I'm starting to second guess my memory here. I said it already. I'm going to stick to it. I don't remember. 2 lives. Yeah. Optimism. I actually found a high rune today, too. So, yeah. Definex saying good for things like design. Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was thinking of. Yeah, like design. Like different like CAD things and stuff. I guess is what people... Because or being around Detroit, the car industry, engineers, you know... That's probably the stuff that people would talk about. I don't really know why, though. I don't know why. Maybe I'll watch a YouTube video on it later. Getting a new act or what, Phil? I would be shocked. A new act would be shocking. I would bet money no new act. There's going to be no expansion. There's not going to be another, you know, there was Diablo 2 and then there was Lord of Destruction. I don't think they're coming out with a new expansion. No, I do not. For D2I. So if they came out with an expansion, everyone who's on the expansion train here, what do you think would happen if you hit it over to the old graphics? Like, what do you think would happen if they made an expansion? Would they make the game in the old graphics with the old code and then also make the new code? Or would they just, you know, what do you think they would do? Bob had a 2005 Mac. We played D2. Oh, so you had D2 up and working, no problem? Gotcha. Maybe I was hearing something about like a newer Mac. I'm not sure. What if they made Phil quit playing D2? I mean, how... Yeah. We decided to make D2 even better by shifting it to be more like Diablo Immortal. Yeah, more like D4. New class would be 6 as a surf maker. I couldn't see any of this stuff happening. Because once again, if they made a new class, unless they eliminated the old graphics button, they'd have to animate the entire character and everything in the old graphics, in the old code, and then also in the new. Or would you just hit this button and you just have no character there, just be invisible? Like, I don't know. And I guess that is not the most important thing, but like, it just sounds, crazy to me, to put it nicely. You're crazy. I don't know. Would you go back to LOD? Like if they absolutely ruined Diablo 2 Resurrected? I don't know what I would do. How could they couldn't add enough to ruin Diablo 2 Resurrected. That's not possible. Adore one says, thinks there's no new rune words either. Maybe gem and rune stacking, maybe. I mean, I could see them adding like 2 or 3 more rune words before I could see them adding rune and gem stacking, to be honest. Because they said before in the past, and they could always change their mind, they said they didn't want to add anything like that because then when people, instead of duping 1 rune, they could dupe a stack of 100 runes at once, you know. If, you know. But maybe they changed their mind, maybe they, I don't know, who knows. Yeah, Skull Rusher, I'm kind of on the same board. I don't even know if they're going to be paid stash tabs. They might, I think it'll just be free, to be honest. I think it'll just be free. Because, I mean, they're already here. And also, China got them for free. And China actually got 3 stash tabs. But I heard someone say that because the word shared in Chinese is way shorter, they could make the tabs smaller. So they got an extra tab.
299,110 donated $2
Unconfirmed, by the way.
Super Chat. Change necro mages to archers loudly crying remove P dagger.
JH, thank you for the $2 super. So change the mages to archers. I mean, I don't know if that would help, but I mean, you could have mage or necro skeleton archers, I guess. Boy, imagine having your own cursed mighted archers. Cursed multi-shot archers, like, on your side. It'd be crazy. Be crazy. Palmer saying China's driving development right now. Yeah, that's what, honestly, I think we're going to get all the stuff they have in China that they added to that. Like, that's why I said there's like I'd put it at about guaranteed stash tabs. And they said a few different things about adjusting Mosaic so it's not broken. And I put it at kind of a toss-up whether, because I don't know what it would mean for the new, like, because China's server was starting off fresh. And then they had that new set. I don't know what it would do to the game if they added in a new set. Because they've never added in a new set to D2R ever. Because I know times when they would change or add things in on Project Diablo 2, it would, depending on what they changed or what they added in, it would brick every character in the game. And it would just brick everything. But I mean, they're also not the developers of the literal base game, so, you know, who knows, but... Tradesman puts a new expansion at 2%. Would be awesome, though. Yeah, I doubt it so much. Like, Bob up here saying Apple's supposedly more secure. Yeah, honestly, I think the stuff is like more secure just because nobody like uses it. Because people aren't going to get really good at like hacking into stuff that nobody has. When they come across someone who has one, they're like, oh, they have one of these stupid Apple things. Never mind. We'll go onto a Windows machine. Or we'll go onto a Galaxy machine, you know? Like, could be wrong, though. Not an electronics expert, but... Bob saying the new Saigons would make ladder more exciting. Everyone start with Saigons. Ooh. Ever played Meeting XO? I never did, but it looked ridiculous, by the way. That just like stuff flying everywhere and blasting and explosions. Yeah, that's kind of why I was waiting here. I got to get off in like 5 minutes, so I figured I would just read comments here for a minute and kind of respond. Yeah, I appreciate you, Floyd. So I actually don't have to leave my house until like 3:50, but I always get off stream at 3:30, and then because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm actually sitting here. I have no pants on, so I got to go get pants, and then you know, then just get ready to leave and stuff. No, I'm kidding. I have pajama pants on, so. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. To get pajama pants off, put some jeans on before I go get my kid from school. I don't want to be that person in Crocs and pajama pants, plaid pajama pants. No pants equal better drops. Hey, it's checking out so far, Nuke. Checking out so far. Like, I put it on the other page already, but I gotta get these all cubed together too here. I gotta take care of this one day. I gotta think of how I'm gonna make the video about it. I can't let the content go to waste, am I right? What if they made 85 plus uniques actually good? Like they took a bunch of the uniques and actually made them better? I think it's if you change the enhanced damage on items, it like nukes everything. So that's one thing you like can't do, I guess, right? For that runes page, how long have you farmed for? That's probably like a year and a half worth right here. Because about it, I'd have to look up when I made the last video. Because I made a video, it was called Why I Deleted All These Runes. And it was a screenshot of all the runes on the page. And the one side was like this, and the other side was empty. And it was like disintegrating away. Video did really good, actually. Why I don't want any of these runes, or something like that. I forgot how I named it. But yeah. Pick your kid up while wearing a wig? I mean, maybe. Yeah, all these runes here too are just runes that I don't want. Because I have too many. Like I have too many ohms and vexes and stuff. I just kind of looked at it a minute ago. We'll pull it up real quick. Everyone likes looking at high runes, am I right? Big rocks. Big rocks. This is the ones like, am I ever going to need more than like 5 ohm runes after I've already made several rune words? Like, not really. More than 5 vexes, I've already made several, you know. I could go add up and look real quick, like beforehand. Maybe I'll do it. I'll go and add up all the runes that I need, but like how many more than this do I really need to keep, right? I need jaws and I need chams. Because I need something like 3 or 4 more chams and like 3 or 4 more jaws to make every rune word in the game. I think that's going to be a sticking point, of course, so. Yeah, I've have 2 Zods on single player, and I found 1 online as well. Cross-platform, open up the market. Yeah, if it was all cross-platform play, that'd be so sick. Really wish they could have done that, but unfortunately they couldn't there. Diablo tattoo? No. Tattoos look cool, but I would never get one. I would never get a tattoo. Maybe if I was like, maybe when I'm like 58 or something, I'd get a tattoo, but. Because the thing is like, there's so many things that I liked 15 years ago that now I'd be like, I don't want that on me. Like, it's maybe the stuff I still like, but did I really want that? Or, you know, as a tattoo? And also, maybe it's a personal preference, but like, if you have like 1 tattoo here and like a tattoo here, and that's like all you have, I think that kind of looks weird in my opinion. People have it out there. I know there's people watching right now that have like a tattoo just on their shoulder and then like 1 on their other forearm, and that's all they have. But I just think like, I feel like 8, 10 tattoos looks cool, but like 2 doesn't. I don't know, that's just me. But I'm never gonna walk in like, give me 10 tattoos right now, you know? And also, I don't want them. I'd rather just wear shirts with funny things on them or something, you know? Or like cool things on them I like, and a hat, you know? And they're expensive. I am cheap, that is true. Yeah, Maxie, I'm gonna say I promise I'm not gonna regret not getting tattoos. All those jewels I just got for crafting, Night Death, yeah. Just saving them up to craft at some point. Nothing in the works at the moment, but just when I want to craft, I'll have them. I used a bunch on those blood boots the other day, so. Well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. It's about at the time when I got to go pick the kiddo up, so I'm going to go ahead and hop on off. Let me go ahead, and I haven't done this in a while. Let me figure out how to do this. You can do, like, YouTube raids. Redirect. Just Llama. Oh, we'll send you to Llama on YouTube, and we'll send you to Willie on Twitch, maybe. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, dude, Willie's a cool dude. Llama's a cool dude. So we'll start the Twitch raid. We'll start the YouTube raid. Will just happen when I end the stream. So, thank you all for joining me today. Thank you all for hitting the like button on YouTube, checking out the videos that I put out recently and stuff like that. So, yeah, thank you all so much. Means 1 or 2 bazillion. Peace out and keep slaying. Ooh.